Good morning, I am Zaira. How to identify an adjective? Adjectives are words that describe nouns within sentences. They usually answer questions that someone might have about the noun, such as what kind, how many, and which one. Because adjectives appear in a few places within a sentence, you can usually spot an adjective by checking certain places. Depending on the form of the adjective, it may also have suffix such as ish, osh, or full, which can make it easy to identify adjectives that are not used in a sentence. Finding adjectives. An adjective usually comes before the noun it describes, but also sometimes comes shortly after. To spot an adjective, look for words that give more information about the noun. They also often have a specific suffixes like full, ish, able, os, or less. Word before a word identify an adjective based on position. Word before a noun that describes a noun. The short man walked away. Adjective noun. Look for a word before a noun that describes the noun. This is the most typical way to use an adjective when reading a sentence. Find the noun first. The noun is the person, place, or thing that is the subject of the sentence. Then check to see if there is a descriptive word right before the noun. If there is, then it may be an adjective. For example, in a sentence that reads the short man walked away, the noun is the man and the word describing man in is short. Therefore, short is the adjective. Or if the sentence reads the pristine beach was nearly empty, the noun is the beach and adjective is pristine. Word that follows a noun and describe it. Noun. Kerala tired and very crawled into bed. Adjective. Check for words that follow a noun and describe it. Multiple adjectives may also follow a noun depending on how the sentence is structured. When adjectives come after a noun in a sentence, there will usually be a common separating the noun and adjectives. For example, in a sentence that reads, the cotton candy, pink, the fluffy, called my name, pinky, pink and fluffy are both adjectives being used to describe the noun cotton candy. In the sentence Kaila, tired and very crawled into bed, the noun is Kaila and the adjectives are tired and very. Adjective that comes after a verb. Janik looks happy. Check for adjectives that come after verb. Another common way of placing an adjective in a sentence is after a verb of being or linking verb. These verbs include is, will, has been, was, and are. Linking verbs connect a noun to a descriptive adjective such as tastes, feels, smells, and looks. For example, in a sentence that reads, the car is red, the verb is and the adjective is red. In a sentence that reads, Janik looks happy, the verb is looks and the adjective is happy. Adjective that make comparisons. Silk is softer than cotton. Watch for adjectives within sentences that make comparisons. This is another easy way to spot an adjective within a sentence. Just look for a descriptive word within a sentence that compares two nouns. The word then will usually also be present in this type of sentence. For example, in a sentence that reads, the desert is prettier than the mountains, the word prettier is the adjective. Or in a sentence that reads, silk is softer than cotton, the word softer is the adjective. Full, careful, ish, bawkish, able, capable, some irksome, os, dangerous, all logical, manic, inventive, less careless. Watch for common adjective suffixes. Adjectives often end in suffixes, so learning common suffixes may help you to identify an adjective when it's not included in a sentence. For fairs, faces, face some common adjective suffixes include full, ish, able, some, os, al, ik, ev, less. Comparative and superlative forms in er and est. Lovelier and loveliest, taller and tallest, skinner and skinniest, wilder and weirdest. Check for comparative and superlative forms that in er and est. These are adjectives that take an adjective through different degrees, as in short, shorter, and shortage, or smart, smarter, and smartest. Some other example of comparatives and superlatives include lovelier and loveliest, taller and tallest, skinner and skinniest, wider and widest. Multi-syllable adjectives paired with more and most. The girl was more gorgeous than I ever could have imagined. Watch for multi-syllable adjectives paired with more and most if the adjectives had more than two syllable, syllables. You may see it paired with words like more and most. These words indicate that the adjective is a superlative. For example, the word gorgeous is an adjective, but it has more than two syllables. Therefore, it cannot end with est or er in test. You might say the girl was more gorgeous than I ever could have imaged. Likewise, likewise, the word majestic has more than two syllables to it, cannot end in est or er. In test, you might say the white horse was the most majestic of all. Adjectives that don't follow the rules: good, bad, ill, little. Be aware that some adjectives that don't follow the rules. These adjectives don't work with suffixes or the words more and most, so they can be a little harder to identify as adjectives. However, if you memorize these four words, you'll know that they are adjectives and you can easily spot them if they show up on a test: good, bad, ill, little.
Thank you.
Thank you.